Can you explain the idea behind the 3 pillars of professional standards?
Sure. Well, the idea is that most people, when they think about professional standards, first of all think about entry standards. They think about what it takes to get into a profession, and normally that involves some form of higher education. But as we're finding at PARN, the traditional professions often have alternative routes, and it's not absolutely necessary all the time to take a standard route that involves a university degree for many of the professions. So that's the first pillar, we call it. The second pillar is about complaints and discipline, and it's more about, once you're qualified as a professional, how can the profession ensure that those members of the profession behave in an appropriate manner and have the required skills. Now, normally that's done by what we would call regulation by exception. That is, it relies on somebody complaining about a particular professional, and then there being a procedure that follows on from that in order to really get rid of the bad apples, or if people are not performing up to standard but are retrievable, then to provide some kind of intervening way of bringing people up to standard through some sort of remedial action. The third pillar, in a way, is the most interesting one. It's the most recent one, and this is more about positive ways of ensuring that professionals maintain their technical and their ethical competence. And the prime mechanism for this is continuing professional development. That involves people regularly attending courses, doing reading, reflecting, attending events, which will contribute to their competence and the way they reflect on what they're doing, to encourage them to think through what they're doing and to be aware of the latest developments, whether it's new technology or changes in the law or just new thinking in the profession. So those are the three pillars of professional standards regulation, and that's the approach that we take. We look at all 3 of those things.